Hello friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. I am Jenny and this is going to be our installment of the nursery tour for this week. And man, have we got a lot of beautiful things to show you. In fact, I was just telling Jerry before we started, I was like, I could see this being a long video because there are so many gorgeous plants that we are going to be growing this year to offer you. And if you haven't known me for very long, when I start talking plants, I can just go on and on and on and on. So I'll try to keep this concise, but just know that we have got tons of gorgeous Proven Winners annuals to share with you today. We are standing here in the new production greenhouse. Remember, you've been with us from step one, building this greenhouse, and it's not going to be long, and this baby is going to be full. Just this past weekend, the whole crew got together and did a ton of hanging baskets, which you can see here. This is just the one greenhouse. Like, we have the two greenhouses at the nursery. They are at full capacity as far as annuals, perennials, and hanging baskets. So they are slam full. The other production greenhouse next door, it is full of all the 10-inch green baskets. And then this one is close to being full with the 10-inch green and then the 16-inch cocoa baskets that you saw us pot up this past weekend. Jerry, you can see here, has already started a little bit. We were doing this late yesterday afternoon and kind of hanging these. We've talked about getting these extender hooks. So they came in this week. We were able to really kind of double row the hanging baskets, a nice window pane. The baskets up top in the green, they do have their drippers in them, and then he just has to come along and add drippers to all of these cocoa liners. There was 100 of the cocos this year. This was a new thing for us, so we'll test it out, but I can see it being very popular. And then there's hundreds and hundreds of the green 10-inch baskets. I've had a couple of you ask if we are going to be shipping hanging baskets. No, I'm sorry, we're not. You can go back and look at other videos from last year or nursery tours. We grow our hanging baskets massive. I mean, it will get to the point where you can't even see the pot. So to try to ship a hanging basket is we're just not up for that this year. I'll just say that. So this is going to be something that is a perk that you have to come to Creekside to purchase for your own. Now you can see this side of the greenhouse is full of the 4-inch material that is the Proven Winners annuals. Everything in here is Proven Winners. 100% of our inventory this year as far as annuals will be Proven Winners. They are going to be in their little white pots with their little white tags in their little white trays. So for example, this is Prince Tut grass. It is a fantastic annual grass. It gets nice and tall and it's really fun because it does these little fringy tops, like little pom-poms on them. Use this a ton in the landscape and in containers. I could go through and talk about every single plant, but we're not going to do that. I do want to show you, we will go down through here and talk about plants. So of course we have the Prince Tuts. So let's just walk, and I'm going to talk to you too about how we're going to set up this greenhouse. Because remember, we literally just built this greenhouse. And Jerry is finishing up doing little odds and ends right now. But we have both sides are going to be filled with the trays on the floor. Each tray holds 10 plants. Don't ask me how many are right here. I don't even know. When we finished on Saturday potting up some 4-inch material, we were not even halfway down, and it was close to 2,000 plants. So each side will be just like this. We're going to have a walking path of about, well, if you can see this yellow string, so the yellow string kind of near the hose, this is going to be our walking path so that we can get to the hanging baskets. From this yellow string basically over to the other side will be also filled with all of this 4-inch material. So we've got lots of plants that we are going to cram in here, maximize our space. Okay, but let's walk and talk. This is going to be a brand new coleus this year. This is Pineapple Brandy. If you will go back and look at this video, I'll link it in the description and above. This was a new introduction this year. It is a fantastic coleus. It is gorgeous. Pineapple Brandy has bright yellow leaves on it with red stems, some red veining. The edges will be red. It was a massive, gorgeous beast. It's great because it can do sun or shade. If you're going to put it in a container, I would advise you to put it in a really large container, but it does great in the landscape and makes a huge, massive presence. So you could have it as a standalone focal point, or you could put a couple of them together and have it going through a bed, like the back of your bed, or just periodically through your yard to have a unifying theme. They would be gorgeous. I'm really excited about those, offering them to you this year because last year I was positively in love. Now, another one that we've talked about before is, this is a great standard Surefire Begonia. Now, I know some people sometimes don't really like begonias. Well, you're going to love this. It's called Surefire for a reason, because it is a surefire winner. Whether it does sun or shade, landscape, container, window box, it does not matter. This is a gorgeous plant. It is very drought tolerant. It gets nice and big in the landscape. It says 12 to 24 in the landscape, definitely on the 24-inch side. In a container, it'll be on that 12-inch side. Just huge and full. Massive, gorgeous leaves on them. It's almost like a angel wing or a dragon wing begonia, but a really upright habit. Not so much as a kind of the weeping of those, and then it can do sun. So sun or shade, either one. So there is, this is red, and then there's rose is somewhere. Oh, let me show you rose. Rose is right here. I don't have a bloom on rose, but I want you to see the difference in the color of the foliage. So the rose is a nice kind of a baby doll pink, but it has a darker foliage on it. All the same growing habits, size, all of those kinds of things. It's really just a color preference on how, you know, what you want to use. These are the easiest plants that make a massive impact. Love the Surefire Begonias. Then we do have this one little sweet little bloom. Look at this. This is Goldilocks Rocks. This is a Biden. If you're looking to attract pollinators to your garden, Bidens are wonderful because they produce these gorgeous yellow blooms. Nice big fat blooms on it, but you can see the foliage on it is nice and fine, almost like a fern. It's gorgeous. This is a full sun. It's not going to get really huge, about 12 to 14 inches tall, has a nice kind of a mounding habit. Does great in the landscape or containers. And then I've noticed that they have a really kind of a sweet little smell to them. So I love Bidens. They're just so cheery and so happy. And then our poor kids, because you know, we've talked about it before, our kids help us. I mean, you know this, it's a family business, hence the family, and they're not immune. They don't get a free ride, they get to help us too. One of our most popular plants ever is Vermilionaire. Now, Vermilionaire, looking at it right now, remember these were just potted up this past weekend. So Vermilionaire right now, you're like, okay, it's a nice little green plant. Well, Vermilionaire, if you are looking to attract hummingbirds to your garden, then you must have this plant. It is a surefire hummingbird magnet. The tag is a little bit of a washed out. This is more like a Tennessee orange. Vermilionaire is more of a Clemson orange, and then it has a little bit of red in there in the throat, and the blooms on it are very small and tubular. Again, check out this video that I'm going to link above and in the description. When we talk about, I did up a planter with Vermilionaire. It is amazing. Loves the full sun. It'll get nice and tall and does more like arches. Hummingbirds will just come to it no matter what. When we had our pool, I would have this around the pool. Those hummingbirds did not care that there was 3 screaming kids jumping in and out of the pool. They would come, they would eat it. From it, they prefer the plant over really even the bird feeder, because I'd have a bird feeder right there, the plant. They would go to the plant first, then to the feeder. You need Vermilionaire in your life if you want hummingbirds. They love this plant. So our kids were like, how many Vermilionaire did you get? Because we have, I mean, from here all the way down, this whole section is Vermilionaire. So there's, I don't know how many hundreds there are. And then just yesterday we got 3 more trays of Vermilionaire. So we have got tons of plants, lots of Vermilionaire for everybody. Get that guy turned around back in there. So again, remember, when the plants come to us, this is what they look like. So they're in these great trays. We're going to do some more hanging baskets. This is the Super Bells Yellow. You can see that sweet little bloom right there. So this will be part of the Proven Winners recipes for hanging baskets. Remember, these come to us as liners. So that nice little small plant will turn into a massive, gorgeous, flower-producing machine that just keeps going all season long. So we have those in here. We've got all sorts of neat little things. Oh, let me show you this. This is fun too. So this is brand new this year. This is the Double Delight Primrose Begonia. Now, again, this just came to us, so they're a little beat up from being shipped. But look at that massive flower. That gorgeous buttercream yellow flower. These do great in containers. So last year I made the mistake when they sent us the trial plants. I didn't read my instructions real carefully and I put it in the landscape. Did not like that. It likes to be in window boxes, hanging baskets, containers, those kinds of things, because it'll have kind of a little bit of an arching habit to it. Gorgeous, very elegant, very beautiful. It's just a great, great plant. So we've got those. Let's come on down here and see what, oh, where do they go? We've got two, they might be on the other side, but I want to show you, if you don't mind, Jerry, I'm going to reverse here just for a second, because talking about new plants, yeah, they're down there. But let me show you, now again, this is the little liner, but talking about brand new plants this year, this is the Double Up Pink Begonia. So there's a whole new Double Up series from Proven Winners. There's Double Up Pink, Red, and White. Again, these begonias are amazing. I did these in the landscape in a container last year. They can do sun or shade. They form this perfect, beautiful mound of this gorgeous foliage. Beautiful, like the pink is a great baby doll pink, covered in these blooms. You don't have to pinch it. No bugs were pestering them. The Japanese beetles didn't like them. The slugs, the snails did not care about it. Sun or shade, landscape or container, they are massive performers. Gorgeous. The red has a deeper color foliage to it and is a nice fire engine red. I love these plants and have massive plans for them this year, absolutely, for sure. So come on down here. Oh, I was going to talk about this. When we were doing that hanging basket video, somebody had said, you know, why don't you build tables and have tables in your greenhouse? Well, I'll tell you, these trailers belong to my daddy and he passed them down to us. They're on the chassis of a truck, Jerry, frame. What is this thing called? Some sort of truck frame, right?
Not, no, it was.
No, it's not.
It was farm equipment.
Oh, farm equipment. I thought it was a truck. I do apologize. Anyway, so it's the frame and then we've built the tables on top of it. So we use these wagons all the time for moving plants. They are a work table. The reason we don't put tables in these greenhouses is because of space. These guys, as we need them or we don't need them, they're on wheels. They can leave. A big, huge, massive table, you're stuck with it. And it's not very efficient as far as maximizing your space. Hence, that's why there are not going to be any tables in here, because we are actually, you can see behind me, we've got Wicked Witch Coleus. So remember,
we just don't need the expense in the table, even if we
right.
can make it work. There's just no need for that expense.
Right, and it, like Jerry said, yeah, the expense. I mean, you have the expense, you have the time. We can get so many more plants in here. It leaves you the versatility of how you're using your greenhouse. I mean, this is a gravel floor. It's not a concrete floor, so even if we had them on rollers and moving them back. Anyway, for now, this is just how we're doing it. But you can see we've got the Wicked Witch here on the edge of the yellow. So that these plants will come from here all the way to here, with I think a little row down the middle, Jerry. So we're gonna have a little row down the middle right here, but this whole section of the greenhouse, boom, is gonna be full of plants. And even Jerry was like, I'm afraid we don't have enough room, but we will make it work. So you can see here the lemon coral sedum is a really popular, it's a great plant. Remember, we're in zone 7B, so for us it is a perennial. So that is doing well. And then we were talking about the Wicked Witch. Again, this is a relatively new plant. Last year was the first year out for customers to buy. This is a massively gorgeous, fantastic coleus. I love this. It's that Color Blaze series, can do sun or shade. I paired it last year with Lime Time Coleus, which is just a pure lime green coleus. It was positively stunning, huge. It gets massive. It is a just an eye catcher because of its gorgeous color. Again, containers, landscape. I did it in the landscape in this huge swath with lime green coleus behind it. It was stunning. So get your Wicked Witch. It's a great one. And then I know y'all are excited about this. Look at these sweet little babies over here. The new strawberries from Proven Winners. So this is the Berry Awesome Red, or Berry Treasure, excuse me. Berry Treasure Red. We also have white and pink coming, but they were just potted up yesterday, so they are going in here. Nice big containers, so they will be ready to come home to your house. So yeah, there is just tons going on here. Oh, I was going to show you. We were talking about that double up pink. Here's the double up red. So see what a nice dark foliage that is. Again, maybe it's not a super impressive plant to you right now, but when it gets full, it is stunning. So if you're looking to add some red to your garden, to your container, really low maintenance but high performing, you cannot go wrong with these double up begonias. They are gorgeous. All right, Jerry, is there anything else that I'm forgetting up here? No, I don't think so. All right, now I do want to show, we're going to run down to the nursery really quick because you're going to be amazed at how much the annuals have grown, and there are flowers coming out everywhere. So let's go for a ride and go down to the nursery. Come on. Here we are in one of the greenhouses down at the nursery, and can you tell the difference? I don't know how much you can see, but oh my goodness, y'all, look at this. So this is the Mini Vista White, which I have massive plans for our patio area. But look at that, it's coming to the, it's overhanging the pot. We've got buds right here. They are just waking up and they are growing. Clearly, they are very happy. And then look at this. Look at bubblegum. We have a bloom. So remember, bubblegum is a Vista. So the difference between the Vista and the Mini Vista, Vista are the most vigorous of the petunias, great for the landscape or massive containers. Mini Vista, that same vigor, but a really kind of a tight habit. They still spread, but not as vigorous as your bubblegums. Look over here. Here is Snowdrift. Look at that. So Snowdrift also is that Vista. Nice big vigor, but a pure white bloom on it. So they are just coming alive, and all the Vistas pair really well together. So whether you do Snowdrift or bubblegum, and then here is Silverberry. So Silverberry, the flower, the white is a nice pure white, but it has that beautiful pink veining in it. Just stunning. So you can mix and match and interplay these all together. They do really well. And then here is, oh look, here's Paradise. So Paradise, Proven Winners says this is like a watermelon pink. So it's a little bit more electric than fuchsia. We have fuchsia in here. I don't know if we're blooming yet. But again, you can pair and swap, interchange these all together. So there is no wrong combination when you're putting these vistas together because they just play so well together. Now here we go into Lemon Slice Super Belle. Super Belles, remember, are calibrachoas. Super Belles do great in hanging baskets and containers and window boxes. Full sun, they do not like to be in the ground because they don't like wet feet. Therefore, we really highly recommend that you don't put your Super Belles in the ground. But there's just so many gorgeous colors. This is Rising Star. Also, Super Belles will tend to have a little bit of a smaller bloom than a petunia, but other than not liking to go in the ground, you can treat them the exact same way. They're heavy feeders. They respond really well to being trimmed back once they start getting leggy. Just a ton of different options. And of course, if you're putting them in a container, you can put petunias and calibrachoas together. In fact, with those recipes that we were just talking about, Proven Winners has calibrachoas and petunias in the same hanging basket, and they do great with each other. There's just so many. Look at Dreamsicle and then Holy Smokes. So both of these are those calibrachoas, the Super Belles. Dreamsicle is a gorgeous, like an orange, just a Clemson orange. And then here is Holy Smokes with that beautiful purple and white with a little bit of yellow in there. I mean, those are perfect Clemson colors right there. Orange and purple and white. There you go. Go Tigers. We have Royal Velvets. So Royal Velvets are not quite blooming yet. Of course, some petunias, they'll bloom at different times, just like, you know, any other plant. So it's not that they're not growing. They're growing. They're just not going to be as an early bloomer as, say, like the Vistas are. Same thing here with this is the annual of the year, the Mini Vista Pink Star. So there's the tag. So you'll see what it looks like. And we do have some buds, but they haven't quite opened yet. So there's tons of beautiful flowers. This is really fun. The bright lights, the double moon glow, the osteos, really just a sweet, delicate yellow and white flower, very daisy-like. And if I'm not mistaken, do these open and close with the sun? I want to say that they do open and close with the sun, but don't quote me on that. I could be wrong, but I'm just noticing that a lot of them are starting to be kind of tight and not open. Normally they're nice and big and open right now. I'm trying to see if we've got any more petunias blooming. So the Bordeaux is not quite ready yet. Bordeaux is just a beautiful purple. Used this in the landscape last year, so that's a great one. And then the Picasso is getting ready to explode. Look at the buds on that. So if you remember when we planted these, it's just the same size of that little plug that I showed you up at the greenhouse. So just a little tiny plant, but with the heat in here, they are coming to life. Of course, you know, the lemon coral will back up and go over here. There's verbena, there's a volvulus, the grasses, the sedums, not sedums, succulents. Remember, we did pick up a kit of those from Pleasant View. And remember, Pleasant View is one of the 2 greenhouses, nurseries that grows Proven Winners. And so we've got these gorgeous succulents. Now, with these succulents, again, like the hanging baskets, these will be nursery only. We're not going to be shipping these, but they love it in here, and they are growing and doing fantastic. Some of them will be hardy perennials for us, whereas other ones will be, they're not. I love this. Is that not just, it looks like seaweed growing up to me, but it's called a pine, which also it looks like a pine. I get that. Oh, look, even the Lantana is starting. So this one is pink berry blend buds. Now, if you're familiar with Lantana, you know that they like it hot. So we have had a couple of sunny days. The last, I think, 3 or 4 days, we've had some good sun, and it's been nice, not even with heat, but just the natural heat of the greenhouse effect. Gotten nice and hot in here. Unfortunately, we're headed for almost 2 weeks of rain, so yuck. Oh my gosh, I can't even, anyway, everybody's doing great. Everybody's growing down here, doing well. You can see the hanging baskets. They are starting to, they're still coming. They've got a ways to go. It's like all of a sudden the hanging baskets that we find, it's like 1 minute you don't see them, and then the next it's like, they just explode, and they're huge and they're gorgeous, and they just keep coming. So again, when it's time for these guys to go home with you, you really won't even be able to see the pot, because you'll just have this gorgeous, fluffy blanket of all these flowers. So it's a lot of fun, and they're gorgeous, and they make a stunning display. But I think that's about it for this week's nursery tour. We still have more plants coming all through the season. Even this week, I keep adding more and more plants to our orders. I keep calling up our people and be like, okay, give me these and give me this, and all sorts of things. So we have got plenty of plants for you, whether you're going to be ordering online or you're going to be coming here at the nursery. We have got plenty of plants and enough to go around for everybody. I guess that's about it for the day. You know, Sunday, if you've forgotten, is Valentine's Day. Just remember, you are loved and you are cherished, and we sure do appreciate you. Thank you for all of your support and just kindness and generosity to our family. We deeply appreciate it. As always, thank you so much for gardening with Creekside. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.